how you doing? Thanks for downloading the show. Welcome to Garden Fork Radio. Today it's me and Rick. We're going to do a little hypnotherapy update. We're going to talk about gardening and the fact that I didn't know what month it was the other day.
Oh, I was going to ask how you are, my friend, but now I'm afraid to.
Well, I made bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches, and I got the jar of mayonnaise out. And we're not mayonnaise forward. It's a summer cheeseburgers or BLT kind of thing. And I looked at it's always expired from last year. And then I looked at the date expired code thing, and I'm like, what month is it? And I couldn't remember. Despite having an iWatch and an iPhone,
Yeah. Oh, gee. Well, it happens to us all, let me tell you.
Yeah, so...
I am not going to be as interesting a guest as some of your recent guests. You've had quite a lot on lately, and it's been interesting.
Well, I keep meaning to text you, and then it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I don't know if Rick's awake or not.
Well, Rick is probably awake.
All right.
Rick, yeah, we can, talking about your forgetting things, one of the things about getting older is, sleep becomes a precious commodity. And I have these periods now. Of course, my watch shames me, because I wear it just to track my sleep.
Yep.
And it shames me, and it says you were awake 2 hours last night. That's hurting your sleep. I still get enough sleep. I'll get 7 to 8 hours sleep. I try to get, but I will have a wakeful period in the middle of the night, and actually I quite enjoy them. Thinking about things. I try not to check the devices, but if I look over and I see that there's something from Eric, I always check because it's always interesting. So never hesitate to text me. And the truth is, texts are on mute. No one gets through, and so you're not going to ding me in the middle of the night. I just don't care. If it's an emergency, call the police and send them.
Yeah. They'll send the SWAT team out.
Yeah, that'd probably be okay too. But
give the neighbors something to talk about.
Yeah, all my neighbors have plenty to talk about all the time about me.
Are you still on front door? What's that called? Front porch?
Oh, next door?
Next door. There you go.
Yeah, next door. They threw me off, gave me a 30-day suspension maybe 6 months ago, and I just have not gone back.
Yeah. Not missing it, are you?
No, not a bit. Not a bit. I don't miss. I do. I have a couple of things that I kind of need to see on Facebook, but I check those things, and I leave. And I really cut back on social media completely, and frankly, I am the happier for it.
Yeah, I don't have to be on Facebook, but I check in there every once in a while. I'm looking for a sewing machine, actually, so I go to Marketplace.
Don't you have a sewing machine?
I do, but I want a second one because up at the little house, I want to sew something, and then I'm like, well, I'll just put it in my knapsack and I'll sew it when I get down to the apartment, and then I forget, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy a $400 sewing machine just to have one, but I thought if I could find one on Marketplace for $50, I just wanted to get the sewing machine out their door. The problem is I'm really choosy because I love the one I have. It's a Singer from I think the early 1970s.
Oh, that's the cast iron age.
Yeah, maybe the 60s. But a friend of mine just bought a refurbished. Singer makes brand new machines. Some of them are quite affordable, like $280. A friend of mine bought a refurbished one and had nothing but problems with it. And they replaced it, and they sent him another one, and it still had problems. And then he went on Reddit and found that these inexpensive Singers are problematic, let's just say. So he bought a different brand, And but anyway, I like my rock solid one, and I've used some newer ones that are kind of plasticky, and I could buy. There's a lot of junk ones for sale on Marketplace or Craigslist, but I'm kind of holding out for the holy grail of the one I have. So,
Okay.
and
Well,
that's why I go on Facebook a little bit, but all it does is show me clicky stuff. It doesn't show me what my friends are doing.
yeah, it's really gotten bad, and like I say, I go to two different sites that I need to look at, and then I shut it off. I don't go. They don't notify me. Sometimes there will be 5 or 6 messages for me that have been piling up, and I see them when I go there. That's Yeah, there is nothing magic about being notified. All it does is eat up your bandwidth, and I have so little bandwidth to begin with.
I know I'm very careful with your bandwidth. Thank you. All right, I want to do a little hypnotherapy update because people have been asking about it. And I went and saw my in-person hypnotherapist, who I really like, and I think that's a biggest part is finding someone that you work with, kind of like a talk therapist. And I was very happy with the self-hypnosis apps that I found. But I spoke to my hypnotherapist, and I said, "Yeah, I've been looking at some of those." He goes, he goes, he goes, he said, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Just remember that you're listening to a recording." And that's all he said. And I realized the value of having either on Zoom, or in person counselor, trained person like a talk therapist, a hypnotherapist, either one of them to guide you through what you're trying to work out in life versus the hypnotherapy app, which it's fine. I like the hypnotherapy session, but they're very broad based. They're not like, okay, trying to dial down the car anger you have when you're driving in the car and everyone's trying to tailgate you. There's sometimes that's not my problem, by the way, but an example. So this is a mishy-mashy suggestion to, if you want to try it, finding someone either in person or on Zoom, I think is key. And my guy,
Well, I think, yeah, just having somebody to respond to you, go, yeah, all right, that helps. I think.
have you thought about this? I mean, it's
Yeah.
a lot of it is you're learning to reframe your life experience. So,
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, and some of it too. It's kind of like my sleep problem. She who must be obeyed kind of has a similar problem. She frets about it all the time. I just reframed it. I said, this is a wonderful time to think about things and to try to recall things and exercise my memory without reaching for the little box next to the bedside.
yeah.
And so I reframed it. And now I don't mind at all if I'm awake for a couple of hours in the middle of the night. As long as I'm getting enough sleep total,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, and I could work you through that,
Oh, okay.
But if people are interested in finding an actual person to work with, and actually my guy, I didn't ask him if I could use his name in the air, so I'm not going to. He said more and more hypnotherapists are doing more Zoom than in person. So you might find someone that is halfway across the country that you vibe with really well, and that works. When I was taking my antidepressant, actually multiple, I would do a Zoom call with my nurse practitioner, and I didn't really think about it being just a video call. It was kind of a very neat connection we had.
Sure.
So if anyone's like, "Oh, I don't want to do a Zoom call," maybe rethink that. But the place to look, my guy was trained. He said, if you can look up on the website here, it's the International Board of Hypnotherapy.com. International Board of Hypnotherapy.com. And then on the landing page, it says, find a therapist, something like that. and then you'll click on the map of the United States. You're the Northeast or Southeast or whatever. And if someone has registered with, done their training and agreed to be listed on their site, then you can find them there. I think that was his best suggestion for people finding someone. In my neighborhood in Brooklyn, there's a person who has a sign in an apartment building, and it says hypnotherapy and Reiki therapy, which is great. But it was kind of a woo kind of paragraph describing what they do. We're channeling your energies, and I'm like, that doesn't work for me. Maybe if that works for you, that's fine. But if you go, I think, with any kind of therapist who isn't kind of in line with how you prefer to work, it's not going to work. Does that make sense?
I think you're right. Of course, I always think of signs in the window, and I think about tarot cards and readings and that kind of stuff. So that's always kind of a disreputed system of finding stuff. I like to go to sites that have some weight to them, and then find people from there. I find all kinds of there is a specialty site for everything you can imagine.
There's a specialty site for Garden Fork. It's where you can read the email newsletter. It's gardenfork.tv, and you can sign up for our email newsletter there.
See, and I get that all the time.
So last thought on this, and then we could talk about what Rick wants to talk about.
Let's talk about something interesting.
I thought this was interesting. I told one of my best friends, I had just saw my hypnotherapist, and I had lunch with him. And I said, I just went and saw my hypnotherapist. He goes, oh, were you hypnotized? Were you, he was making fun of it. And I was not pleased about that. He later apologized. But I would just like to dispel, here's the Wikipedia definition of hypnotherapy. It's considered a type of complementary and alternative medicine. Hypnotherapy, also known as hypnotic medicine, is the use of hypnosis in psychotherapy. Hypnosis is a state of deep focus and openness to suggestion, very important there, that usually begins with relaxation and guided instructions. Some people respond more strongly than others, and researchers explain that hypnosis is not a magical trance, but a form of concentrated attention and expectation. Hypnotherapy is generally not considered based on scientific evidence and is rarely recommended in clinical practice guidelines. However, it's used in hospitals for pain management, or mental health issues. So again, and that's the Wikipedia entry, but I think that's a pretty good paragraph about what it is. My only other point is that I don't know if trance is the right word. You're in a deep meditation, but at any point you can get up and walk out of the chair you're sitting in. If you don't, you're like, this isn't working. Or even have to scratch your nose. You can scratch your nose while you're, in your meditative hypnotic state. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. And you mentioned Wikipedia. I hope everyone will find a few dollars to scrape up and send them every now and then.
I send them $50 a year.
Yeah, so do I. Just to acknowledge the work and keep the servers running. I think Wikipedia is one of the great modern success stories of the internet age. Everyone getting together. It's amazing the number of people that have this monomania about one topic, and they know everything that could possibly be known about it. And I ran into those people all the time in the military, and they had the strangest monomanias about those things. But anyway, now that they're putting it all on paper and you can find stuff, it may not be absolutely right all the time, but I remember looking at old Encyclopedia Britannicas, where and you look at some of those entries and you go, well, this is wrong and this is wrong. We know better now. And so, Wikipedia is self-correcting like science and medicine. And I think it's just a wonderful part of the internet, and it deserves to be preserved. And they're having a little bit of a tough time now with the LLMs, the large language models, or AI. that have scraped all their information and present it, and then don't contribute anything to Wikipedia. So if you can find time or a few dollars and send over, or if you have an expertise, or you can just look and correct things as you go along, and they'll there's a procedure. Your corrections aren't added immediately. People look at it, they talk about it. Subject matter experts, SMEs, go through it, and lots of times they'll say, you're right. Let's add this line or something. So. Yeah. So it works. It's self-correcting, and it is a wonderful part of the internet.
I've often thought if I traveled in time, I could survive by just keeping a PDF copy of the Wikipedia on my iPad that I traveled with.
Yeah.
Like if I needed to smelt iron, I could look it up.
We did a show about Kiwix
Yes.
once, and it is a hard copy version of Wikipedia you download. And it's really meant for areas that don't have any internet at all when you're going overseas, just like you were talking about. And they use it in schools and whatnot. And the things you can find there, just download them. And if you ever have an emergency, you got them on your hard drive, and you can do almost anything. I keep the WikiMed, I think it is, downloaded on my iPhone, just in case.
Yeah. Hey, this is one of the top reads on Wikipedia's landing page is Frank Beard, the drummer from ZZ Top, passed away.
I read that. That's sad.
He's I saw a documentary of them. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, and the lead guy is super chill. Frank was quite the drug user. He completely admits the first check he got from ZZ Top from a gig, he bought drugs. He bought a bunch of drugs with it. But then he went sober. He was clean. I don't know if that's the right word. He's recovered. I'm mangling the words. I'm sorry. But neat documentary.
Well, I think you're using the words he'd use, so that's fine.
And they just, I did like how they had kind of a glitz to them, but they were still very rooted in blues, kind of Texas music.
Right.
And they're like real people. So R.I.P. Frank. And Frank was the only one without a beard, and his name was Beard.
Yeah. Talking about rooted in Texas music, one of my favorite Texas bands when I was growing up was, oh, hell, now I can't think of it. Kinky Friedman and the Texas Jew Boys.
Huh.
And he ran, it was a wonderful Texas band, very, very weird in a way. But he ran for governor 2 or 3 times, and so it was really it was interesting to be part of that.
Yeah, he was. He's an American singer, songwriter, novelist, humorist, politician, and columnist for Texas Monthly, which is a very good magazine, by the way.
It is. It is.
Who styled himself in the mold of popular American satirists Will Rogers and Mark Twain. Yeah.
He was always interesting. He was always funny. Okay, what else we got on our list? Oh, I got painted porch here. Tell me about painting your porch.
Well, the plan was to start painting our little house in the woods this summer. And the first half of the summer went somewhere because I forgot the month. And the camera operator's like, I was like, okay, I'm going to start working on the clapboard, which pieces of it have to be replaced. So I pulled the biggest piece off on the front, and the camera operator said, I want to paint the side porch. And the side porch was added on several years later. Homemade, not home, the homeowner, Mike, built it. And it has what's called board and batten covering on it, which is rough cut pine with little strips covering up each joint of the not clapboard, siding. And she started to scrape the paint. I said, you got to get all the loose paint off this thing. And the scraper went through the siding. And I'm like, okay, this isn't a paint job anymore. This is we're going to have to. And I started to just patch little pieces of siding. And I was like, it would be faster and it would last longer if I just replaced all the siding. So I'm replacing almost all the siding on the little side porch, which is easy enough. We have a sawmill in our town. You drive down and see Mr. Bell, Tommy Bell, but you have to cut each piece. But the key to keeping rough sawn pine from rotting in a New England climate is you prime it and paint it. You cut it to size and then prime and paint the sides, backs, all over the place. And the biggest key I've learned from a painter who taught me is you get the Zinsser brand. It's called Zinsser Bin, B-I-N, primer. But you get the lacquer-based one, which is called Ultimate Primer. And now that gallon of primer is $100 a gallon.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I double prime it. You have to wear a mask. And then I double paint it because I did that with some clapboard that I replaced like 15 years ago. And that clapboard is rock solid.
Yeah. Please tell me that you painted it haint blue.
Haint.
Haint. Haint.
Haint is a Southern word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Southern word. You'll see it a lot. Haint blue. It's kind of a light turquoisey blue. And a lot of older people will paint their porches haint blue to keep away the spirits.
Oh.
And I have no idea why spirits are opposed to it, but you paint haint blue, and it's I saw it as a kid growing up on almost all the old shacks and houses around where I grew up, and down in Texas, of course. So,
I'm typing this into our notes, and the iPad's trying to autocorrect.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So I heard the term haint when we moved. We had to move houses once, and the movers were from. We were in Wisconsin, and we were moving to Missouri, and the movers were from some other state. It was just two guys. They were super nice. But the one guy said, yeah, the other guy's name was Jerry. He goes, yeah, Jerry's a haint. And I did not understand what that was. Is that some kind of insult or?
I've never heard a person called a haint. It says here a pale blue green. That's kind of a turquoise color, isn't it? I'm so bad with colors that I don't know. But I've never heard of a person called a haint unless they're saying that he's kind of spiritual or ethereal in some way.
Appalachian. Okay, haint. Unfortunately, the AI. I use the the DuckDuckGo browser, and it auto generates an AI thing, and I didn't want that. Hillbillyslang.com. Click on the website. Don't read the AI. Okay. Yeah. In Southern and Appalachian speech, a haint is a ghost, spirit, or restless soul. The word shows up in old-time stories and superstitions, even house paint traditions meant to ward them off.
Okay.
Usage. Don't be out past midnight. Them haints roam after dark.
Okay.
And the origin is etymology is from an older pronunciation of haunt, haint, meaning a spirit that lingers. The form haint is especially tied to Southern Appalachian dialects, surviving in folklore and superstition.
Okay. So now we know something.
Related word is a booger man.
Well, we said boogie.
Or
Boogeyman.
Wampus cat.
I don't know
Wampus
that one.
cat. That's cool. us Northerners miss out on all this stuff.
Oh.
The closest we get to that is I used to be up in Vermont a lot, and talking with the locals, one of them said, yeah, you can't get there from here. Phrases like that are very New England, but specific words I don't remember, but
Okay.
Wow. Anyway, if you are replacing siding on your house or you want wood to last super long outside, prime it with a heavy duty primer and then paint it and then nail it to the wall or wherever you're going to put it. It's amazing the difference between the clapboards that I did not paint the whole entire thing and put up versus the ones that I did. It's pretty wow.
So are you just going to do a section at a time as you go along?
Tiny steps. Yes, I've got one part ready to nail on, and that'll probably happen this afternoon.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, it's going to be bright and sunshiny.
Yeah.
At least here it is.
Like me.
I was watching your videos about replacing the motion sensors.
Yes.
And the camera operator came out or no, she came out when you were doing the I forget which video it was now. Maybe it was the greenhouse, which is just you need to tear that down and start over again.
Yes.
But anyway, it was so delightful to hear her voice. She's the reason I tune in to Garden Fork videos. That and the dogs. Yeah.
It's hard because she works so much. She just has one of those jobs where it's like 24/7. I make a concerted effort to get her involved, but I mean, 80% of the time I'm alone and I'm like, well, I should probably just shoot the video, Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When she's home, I'd like to have dinner with her.
Well, somebody's got to get kibble for the dogs.
Yeah, someone's got to pay for it. And it's not cheap anymore. I did ask our one of the vet techs out of veterinarian, who she's deeply knowledgeable about this. I said, because on Chewy, I order the Blue Buffalo brand. It's like a mid-level brand. And they have a very subtle way of like, would you like to see our premium brands of dog food? And I'm like, what's the difference? It's like a better food, higher, I don't know. And I asked the vet tech who I really trust, I said, is Blue Buffalo okay? What about these premium brands they're trying to sell me? She goes, all dog foods have to have a certain amount of proteins and starches and all that, according to, there's a veterinary animal health group or something in the United States.
Of course there is.
And so you're okay with the mid-level food. To the point that in our the hippie neighborhood I live in Brooklyn, there is a store just for freshly made dog food.
Yeah. I don't.
It's got kale in it,
Yeah, you'll end up regretting that. I tell you, just because the dogs, after a while, they hold out for the good stuff, and then you feel guilty. And I've right now. Somehow I ended up with the wrong dog treats. I get some that are hypoallergenic because we have a lot of itches in the dogs around here, and I ended up with they're literally little tiny herring. Sun dried, and I said, well, okay. I ended up with them accidentally. I'll give them to Darcy. Miss Bhutan passed a few months ago. Yeah. And so I'll give one to Mr. Darcy and see what it likes. And now he won't eat his dog food. And he just stands and stares at me, stands by his bowl. It'll be full of dog food, and he'll stare at me. And he'll guilt me into adding herring to his food. And he's so old and he's deaf, and you
can't
say,
say no.
How can I possibly deny those eyes?
Really? Yeah. He's putting up with you.
Oh, stop it! I'm batching it right now, so it's just me and Darcy. She who must be obeyed has gone off to do some elder care things in Missouri with her oldest sister and her oldest and our brother-in-law, and so it's sort of a twofer there.
Yeah,
she's helping them. That one had actually they both had surgery, and helping them get back on their feet and get the PT done. And she's taking care of all the routine stuff and driving them around.
And she's a big-wheeled retired nurse.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I married into a viper's nest of medical people, and so there's no shortage of nurses and physician assistants and nurse practitioners. They all offer contradictory suggestions. In fact, the two that she's helping are both nurses, nurse anesthetist, and so.
And then Eric's telling you to do hypnotherapy.
Why not?
Yeah. All right. Well, we've hit the 30-minute mark here. People are checking the expiration date on their mayonnaise now.
What did you do? What did you do? Well, I was thinking, what did you do with the mayonnaise?
It was expired, and I ate it anyway.
Yeah. If nothing's growing on the top of it and it smells fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why and we not? Keep it in the fridge,
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of that stuff. In fact, I think there's legislation now. It had gotten out of hand. The replace by date and the best by date, and a lot of this stuff doesn't have a hard expiration.
No.
Now, mayonnaise, milk, those kind of products do, I'm sure. But they're trying to cut back on that because people are throwing out perfectly good food when they don't have to.
Yeah, stale cookies still taste pretty good, I
don't know about that. But I'm enjoying my iced coffee here this morning, and so I guess we'll finish on that.
Yeah. All right, cool. So Rick and I are going to stick around for the after show for the Garden Fork patrons, the supporters.
Do I have to?
No.
Okay. I will. Just for you.
What else do you have to do today, Rick?
Well,
shine
Mr.
your
Darcy,
airplane.
Yeah. Yesterday, I stiffed you yesterday because I had a opportunity to run down. Actually, I had a commitment. They asked me to come to go down to Manteo, which is just across from Kitty Hawk and First Flight Aerodrome, where the Wright brothers were. And the 19th is the anniversary. I think it's Orville or Wilbur, somebody's birthday. But anyway, it's National Aviation Day. And so they offered me a certificate for $100 worth of fuel and a certificate for a free meal at at one of the food trucks that were there. And I said, okay, yeah, you bet. I'll run down there and do that. Anyway, we had a great time.
Oh, cool. Yay.
Yay.
All right. Oh, also, Brent just became a patron of Garden Fork.
So thank you, Brent.
Thank you, Brent. Yeah.
About time you coughed up, Brent.
Stop. All right, everyone. If you have any thoughts, it's always great to hear from you. It's gardenfork87@gmail.com. Rick and I are going to stick around, go out and do cool stuff, and make it a great day. All right. Thank you. Garden Fork Radio is produced by Garden Fork Media, LLC in Brooklyn, New York. The music in the show is licensed from audioblocks.com and uniquetracks.com.